Welcome to Style to Rise, the podcast where real women share real stories about style, confidence, and everything in between. I'm your host, Jeanine, image consultant, entrepreneur, and your personal cheerleader in confidence and style. So grab your coffee, take a deep breath, and let's get started. Today, I want to share 3 stories that meant a lot to me. The first story is about a tortoise. Once there was a tortoise who lived in a tiny pond. That was all he knew: a bit of water, a few reeds, the same view every single day. He truly believed that this tiny space was his whole world. Until one day, an eagle swooped down, lifted him up, and carried him across the sky. And for the very first time, the tortoise saw mountains, oceans, forests, wide, endless landscapes, beauty he never even imagined existed. When the eagle brought him back home, the tortoise tried to tell the others what he had seen, but they didn't believe him. They kept living in the same small pond, convinced that that was all there was. But the tortoise, he could never unsee the truth. He stepped out, he explored, he went on adventures, and his entire life expanded, simply because his perspective expanded. This is exactly what limiting beliefs do to us. We live in a tiny pond, thinking it's the whole world, until one moment, one encounter, one revelation lifts us higher and shows us there is more. And that brings me to the second story. In a small mountain village where the sun hardly shone, a man once asked another, "What is the meaning of life?" The old man smiled, took a tiny mirror from his pocket, and caught a single ray of sunlight. He reflected the light onto the other man and said, "This, my friend, is the meaning of life: to shine light on others, to bring warmth, to bring hope, to bring truth, and to bring love." And over the last few weeks, I honestly felt like some of that light inside me dimmed. I doubted myself, I compared myself to others, I questioned my purpose, I allowed my ego to get a little too loud. And I kept praying, "Lord, what exactly do you want me to do?" Then, in that very moment, as I opened my phone, an email popped up. "Reach more women through your podcast," it read. And my whole spirit knew this is my sign. And then on Sunday, God spoke again through a little children's play at church. They told the story of a daisy growing in a small pot in the woods. She was beautiful and full of life, but eventually her roots had nowhere else to grow. The pot began to crack, and she panicked. "This is the end. My pot is breaking. I'm going to die." A toad tried to fix it, patched it with cement, but the pot was never the same. Still, the daisy clung to it. Why? Because the pot felt safe. It felt familiar. It felt like her identity. Just like that tortoise with his pond. Until one day, her roots finally broke through the cracked pot. They reached into the warm earth, and she began to grow. Freely, wildly, beautifully, more radiant than ever before. And that message hit me so deeply. We cling to things that limit us: our fears, our comfort zones, our routines, our roles, when God is actually trying to break the pot so our roots can grow deeper. And I realized something about myself. I love fixing things. I love helping. I love holding everything together. I love controlling. But sometimes you are required to stop fixing, to surrender, to trust that the plan is bigger than your little pot. And then God sent me one more sign after church. A woman from Fred, someone I hardly know, sent me a message. She said her daughter watched one of my podcast videos on YouTube and told her, Mama, hierdie tannie laat my anderblom dink. I got goosebumps and I felt like God whispered, this is what I called you to do, to help women bloom, to help them see themselves, to help them break out of the pot that's too small for who they're becoming, to shine the light, just like that little mirror, onto others. And here's something I've been reflecting on deeply. We spend so much of our lives chasing things outside ourselves: validation, achievement, success, identity, believing that that is where happiness lives. But what if we do it the other way around? What if happiness is something you cultivate within? What if it's something God plants inside of you first, and when it grows, everything else follows? Because when you know who you are in Him, when your identity is rooted in His purpose, when your joy comes from the inside, you stop clinging to the pot. You stop believing the pond is the whole world. You stop shrinking to fit in life that no longer fits you. You expand, you bloom, you rise. So today, I want to remind you, break free from your small pot. Let God stretch you, let Him grow you, let Him show you that your life is bigger than you think. And most of all, shine your light on others. Because that is the meaning of life. Thanks for joining me today on Styled to Rise. If you enjoyed this conversation, share it with a friend who could use a little inspiration and style in her life. And remember, confidence isn't about having it all together. It's about showing up exactly as you are and owning it. Until next time, keep styling, keep rising, and keep showing up.